only paid $4 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on select Hyundai vehicles. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
Just another crazy day in LA. There's the hammer that she tossed out.
Oh, 20 seconds. Okay. What's the big major on the west side to get over to Wilshire? Barrington? Huh? Okay.
Right, so now it looks like she's hiding in the back somewhere.
Jessica, this standoff going on
You got
2
her
hours
hammer
now. The woman
out there on the
just
ground that
moments
she
ago
had
went from the front seat to the back
allegedly
seat, and we do
hit
not
or
see
tried
her
to
any
hit
longer, but we know she's
someone.
in the back seat of this
She's
Bronco
been going
with
on for
what
over an
appears to be a
hour.
dog, a small dog as
Her
well.
tires are up, so
She
we
threw
don't
out a
know
small hammer
if she
at some
ran
point,
out of
which was
gas
inside
there
right
or if
next
she
to the
just
vehicle.
stopped or
LAPD
exactly
still has
what the
not made
deal
an
was,
approach
because
on the Bronco. They have several
we
units
didn't
right behind the
see
car, and they're talking
the
about having
point
some
leading
spike
up to
strips there
here.
at the intersection at Sepulveda
We
and
have seen
Montana in the
her
event that the car
halfway
continues
out the window,
to
and
move. But
she
been at a
has
standstill here
definitely
for about 2 hours.
unclosed.
It was pursuit that started just up the street here at about 6:30 before coming to a stop there on Sepulveda and Montana. Lots of people were stuck on Sepulveda on the southbound side. Now they have a closure up here at Sunset, and that is forcing drivers onto Sunset westbound. You could take Barrington down to Wilshire to meet Wilshire and then back over to Sepulveda if you need to. You can stay on the 405 freeway, get off on Wilshire that way, or Sunset over to Veteran and make your way down to Wilshire. It's really the only way around this without cutting through all the residential streets here. But standoff still continues here after about 2 hours now, and we'll stay overhead and keep you updated. In Sky 5, I'm Rich Prickett. I'll send it back to you, the studio.
Yeah, I just don't know where she went in the Bronco.
Oh,
She
looks like
buried
William
herself
Larry's
back
getting
there, or
moving north. Am I wrong?
maybe she's all the way in the back where the windows are tinted in the back compartment. this just an average day in LA or what?
What's that?
Craziness. You thought you saw it all. As long as it's been going on, I'm surprised they haven't put some tear gas in there or something yet. What are they trying to throw over there now? Oh, I see they were trying to scoop the hammer up. You see they got the strip in front of her. So I don't know if she stopped when she saw that or what. Sure doesn't look like it did anything to this side unless it hit the other side. And yeah, somewhere inside that Bronco there's a naked woman, unless she's getting dressed so she can get out. Heck, looks like we're going to get gas. See if we can find another feed.
Do have some breaking news right now. A police pursuit has come to an end in Brentwood. In the driver's seat, you're looking at her right now, appears to be a naked woman who for the last hour or so has been locked in the standoff with officers at the intersection. This is all happening at Sepulveda Boulevard and Montana Avenue. The initial call came in, we're told, about a woman who had been attacking somebody with a hammer, but it looks like she has since tossed that hammer out of the window to the ground. We know that officers there on scene are awaiting somebody who is more well-versed in mental health crises to come in and perhaps start negotiating with this woman and talking her down. But we are awaiting for a reporter on the ground, Brooke Thomas. She is on her way out there to the scene, and she should have an update for us on exactly what is going on. We don't believe that there's anybody else in this Bronco.
Yeah, I think that much has been confirmed, unless we were in for quite a surprise. But there she is. You see the hammer on the ground, too. If you look closely, you'll see it. She did toss that out. But at this point, they're waiting to see if there's some mental health assistance that is shortly to arrive. We're waiting for that. Also, the point we made earlier that since she doesn't have clothing, possibly waiting for that to be resolved as well so she can actually exit the vehicle.
That's right. Okay, so we will keep you posted on what's happening there. Meantime,
Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is California's #1 entertainment destination. See Carrie Underwood on September 5th. Don't miss Green Day September 30th. And see Tim McGraw on October 25th. Visit YamavaTheater.com for details. Must be 21 or over to enter.
Yeah, yes, Maria, the pursuit that ended here probably just before 7 o'clock this morning, still ongoing. This is at Montana and Sepulveda Avenue. We have a lady who is experiencing some type of mental health episode. We understand this started out at Overta block, the 1100 block of Overta, just about 5 or 6 blocks from here. It's a very short pursuit. The woman stopped her vehicle. She's in her car. Unfortunately, if you didn't see the earlier coverage, she's not wearing any clothing, so we're not going to be able to push in any further. But the only one big update that has occurred is that she did throw a hammer outside the vehicle, obviously talking to officers that they're trying to talk her out of the vehicle. There was a suggestion that there was some type of assault that occurred at that original location that involved a hammer. Now, this Sepulveda Boulevard is your normal route to get through the Sepulveda Pass or to get onto the 405. Just be aware that it is blocked at Montana Avenue. We're seeing a bit of a backup here of cars who are trying to sneak down Sepulveda Boulevard that unfortunately are stopped here. We're hearing that possibly this could go on for the next 30 to 40 minutes at least. They're waiting for mental health experts to arrive here to help this lady out. So basically, just be aware that Sepulveda Boulevard is unavailable to get through if that's your normal route. Maybe look towards Coldwater Canyon or
do you have
just
some
stick it
breaking
out on the
news
405
right now?
as you
A
make your
police
way
pursuit has come
southbound
to
on
an
the
end
405
in
this
Brentwood
morning.
in the
But
driver's
once again,
seat.
a lady having
You're
a bit
looking
of
at her
a
right now.
mental health
Appears to be
episode.
a
LAPD
naked
being
woman who
very
for the
careful
last
here,
hour or
helping her
so
out as
has
much
been
as
locked
possible.
in a
They're already
standoff.
lot, which is you go to a team's training camp and all of a sudden you're drinking the water there. You're really invested in how this is going. And Manti was drafted by the Chargers in the start of his NFL career, so he knows people in the building. But this Jim Harbaugh effect, the year 2 of Harbaugh being the coach, Justin Herbert trying to come into his own and move past that first weekend of the playoffs, I feel like success for the Chargers looks like at least one win deep into January within the AFC. Now, their problem is that the Kansas City Chiefs lie within their division, and the Denver Broncos got better. Oh, and Pete Carroll arrived in Las Vegas. So while the NFC North might look like the toughest division on the NFC side, the AFC West has punches coming left and right, and I actually can't believe the challenge that both of these teams are faced in the Chargers and the Chiefs to have to travel internationally for their first game of the season.
To Jamie's point of what it looks like, let's talk about what the Chargers look like. I think Joe Ortiz, the general manager for the Chargers, has a type. And when we went to the camp and we saw that the size of these men, I think it's going to be bully ball. Is that what they're going to play that Jim Harbaugh has played ever since he coached at the University of San Diego to Stanford and throughout the ranks. They're going to run the ball. And if you're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs and what they can do, one is control the time of possession. You're going to get that with how they're going to approach the offensive approach there. But two, with Coach Kevin Minter, I think it cannot be stated enough the job that he's done defensively, having the #1 scoring defense there. But if they can apply pressure with Thule and Khalil Mack, we saw what happens in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. If you can apply pressure to number 15, he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. He's even more deadly if you give him time.
Oh, yeah, a lot of dynamics that are going to play out on the field. We can't wait for that. It is super exciting. The season is picking up and starting. And Jamie, speaking of international games, this season, the NFL will play a regular season game in Ireland for the first time when the Vikings play the Steelers. This is at the end of the month, right? September 28th, and you'll be broadcasting exclusively on the NFL Network. So what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, well, it's incredible. I feel like I've done my fair share of games in London, all right? So the NFL has squarely put their foothold and their footprint down in London. So when the opportunity came up for me to be assigned potentially to a new country the NFL is going to, I raised my hand to go to Dublin, Ireland. Croke Park is one of the most amazing stadiums for all sports, but for the NFL to land there, and specifically the Vikings, they are my hometown team. However, that doesn't mean I can't pay respect to the brand recognition that the Steelers have in Ireland. And it's going to be an incredible, I'm actually working with a Fox crew in Greg Olson and Pam Oliver and Joe Davis in the booth, which will be amazing for me. So I look forward to making new friends on Fox, if you will.
Oh, that's so awesome. We love to hear that. And, of course, this is the second year of Good Morning Football Overtime. Manti, it's so good to see you. What can viewers expect daily?
Well, you could expect some juice. I mean, that's one thing about us is we're live at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so we understand that when you click on your TV, we want you to have fun. We want you to see us having fun. We're also going to bring the takes. We're going to draw some pop culture and tie it into football terms, and I think that's what's so great about Good Morning Football Overtime is we understand that we're on every single channel across the globe, especially across the country, and we want to be able to relate to everybody. So you're going to have some juice, you're going to have some energy, and you're definitely going to have some football.
And interviews, too. We had Rams president Kevin Demoff on last week talking about the Rams as a team, but also the stuff that the Rams have been doing in the community. So we really try to cover all the bases, but specifically, we know we got to check in with the Chargers and the Rams.
You definitely do. We love the juice. Bring it this season, you guys. I love the energy. I love the expertise. Thank you so much. Of course, everyone can catch a new season of Good Morning Football Overtime at a new time, weekdays at 4 on Fox 11+. We'll be right back. Thanks, guys.
On Fox 1, now you can stream your favorite live sports. So you can be there live for moments like these. Fox 1, streaming now.
Need to open the door to more home buyers? Hyper-target home buyers in your area down to the zip. Learn how Flex data-driven ad solutions can drive home buyers to your real estate business. Connect with Flex.com.
Back to breaking news in Brentwood, where a pursuit ends with a police standoff.
Let's go to Brooke right now. She's been on the scene. Brooke.
Hey there, yes. So this started around 6:45 this morning. I'll step out of the way so you can see what I've been looking at all this time. You can now see, I just want to show you in front of this Bronco where a woman, police say, is held up in that car. She will not get out of the car. They have now laid 2 spike strips down in front of her car just in case she decides to drive off. She is in that car. Unfortunately, she does not have any clothes on. There's a hammer that is on the ground right outside of her car. Police say she threw that out of her car some hour, a little more than an hour or so ago. Again, let me tell you how this started. Around 6:45 this morning, police say they got an assault call. Now, that was in the 1100 block of Oveda. At that point, police say when they got to the scene, the woman hopped in a car and took them on a chase, a really short chase. Got to tell you, they say it lasted 2 minutes, no longer than 2 minutes, before they ended up right here on Sepulveda at Montana. If you're on the 405, this is in between Wilshire and Sunset. And I have to tell you, the street is blocked off. Sepulveda is blocked off at this area for your safety and because of this standoff. Of course, there's a B on my microphone. Sorry about that. That had to pull the mic away from my mouth for a little bit. But just to give you an idea of what's happening here, the officers, I don't want to say things have escalated, but they have laid down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spike strips, 2 in front of her car, just in case she chooses to drive off. We could see a dog on the street in the back seat, kind of running around back there in her car. Again, just in case she chooses to drive off. We could see a dog she in the back seat, kind of running around back there in her car a little earlier. Not getting out of it, but hanging her body. Has stopped moving. She at one point was hanging out of the car. We couldn't quite hear what she. Not getting out of it. The first unit, you can see the.
Hopefully that'll provide some level of buffer for the situation being so awkward in that sense. But clearly, this is all protocol. A lot of people look at this and think, wow, it's been hours. She's been blocking the street. But again, they're taking every precaution to make sure everyone's safe. Thank you so much, Brooke. We'll check back in with you a little later. On to this now. 2 LA Sheriff's deputies are recovering this morning after they were struck by a suspected drunk driver in South LA.
Let's go to Gigi live at Harbor UCLA Medical Center right now with more on what we know.
Moraga. They have officers on the corner just in case she decides to drive off. They can throw out the spike strips and make sure she's not a danger and gets involved in another pursuit. But this has been a standoff for probably 45 minutes to an hour now, and it hasn't gone anywhere. We're waiting for the SMART team, the LAPD, to see if they can't talk peacefully. She was really animated a bit ago. It seems like she's calmed down a little now, but it doesn't appear that goes on. The standoff continues. It's not a big deal for the drive. Sepulveda Boulevard is closed. You got to turn around. It's a delay. You just can't use this stretch of Sepulveda Boulevard, but it's hard to say, Philip, how long this will go on, but certainly it's unusual to see a situation like this on our roadways.
Well, Scott, also, you just talked about the traffic not being impacted that much because it looks like the 405 is doing okay, but a lot of times people will use, or am I wrong, use that section to kind of bypass some of the heavy traffic on the 405.
Yeah, they do, and we can pull out and show you. There are some delays. It's going to affect a few people, but not like a lot of people, and they're just turning traffic around on Sepulveda. So you can get onto Moraga, you can get on Sunset, get back on the freeway, and the freeway through this area is not too bad. Yeah. So it'll have some effect, but it certainly is not going to be a huge effect. But we'll push in once again. Earlier, she was extremely animated. She almost fell out of the vehicle trying to communicate with officers. So obviously somebody needs help. They're calling in the mental assessment team. Hopefully they can wrap this up before it goes on too much longer when we do start to see a little more volume on the roadways in this area.
Okay. All right. Scott, thank you, and I'm sure we'll keep an eye on that.
1 second, they're a neighbor you like. The next, they're a neighbor you trust.
Actually, no problem.
1 second, you're worrying about your home. And then, thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in with Trusted Neighbor from ADT. New at 11 o'clock, wedding day disaster. A celebration of love and family soon turns into a search for a sinister wedding crasher who stole tens of thousands of dollars in wedding gifts. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand is live with a message tonight from the heartbroken couple. Jory.
Yeah, David, wedding crashing is even a thing because there are so many people at weddings you just don't know. The family of the opposite party. It happened to a local couple here in Glendale, except this was no harmless prank. It wound up costing them a whole lot of money.
for bottlenose dolphins, but it demonstrates their playful nature and their strong social bond. I could watch that all day.
There's so much to do here if you're the adventurous sort. Can you do flips? Woo! And you can even feed the animals. Here's some Nubian goats and sheep. Come here, little goaty goat.
You know her, you love her, and we do too. Leslie Sykes grew up in Compton, and following graduation from
We do know there are and get her. Earlier, we were waiting for mental health services, and there was a question as to what was going on there. Had there been a change in protocol, what was going to happen here? And it appears there has. Just want to note also, because you can't see it, but there was a hammer for hours on the street outside of her car. Police say she threw that hammer outside of her car, out of her window, and it's been laying there the whole time. I'll send things back to you all in the studio.
It'll be interesting to see what happens next. Of course, you've been on the scene for quite some time and Skyfox overhead, but hopefully, finally, a termination to all of this, because it has been hours now since we've been following this standoff.
Yeah, it's quite the headache. Also, so many resources being used for this incident. All right, Brooke, thank you. Appreciate that.
On to this now. 2 LA Sheriff's deputies are recovering after they were struck by a suspected drunk driver in South LA.
Let's go to Gigi live at Harbor UCLA Medical Center with more on what we know. Gigi.
Good morning, Sandra and Araxia. Good morning, everyone.
our angle because the SWAT vehicles are obviously kind of blocking it in front of it. But police tell us there is a woman holed up in her car there. She will not come out. I will tell you, at least from what I can hear, we did actually see and hear the police officers broke her window shortly after they moved in, and they were communicating with her. And from what we could hear in the conversation, it appeared she was speaking back and forth with them. Of course, we can only hear one side of that conversation, hearing officers say, please get out. No one wants to hurt you. You know, we want to help you get the help that you need. Speaking back and forth to her saying, yes, exactly. Yes, I hear you. That's what you want, right? But this all started around 6:45 this morning. Actually, a little bit down the way, officers say they got a report early this morning, again at around 6:45 in the 1100 block of Oveda Street. They say they got a report of someone being assaulted. They tell us this woman is an assault suspect, telling us when they got on the scene, she hopped into a car and actually took officers on a chase, a pretty short chase, about 2 minutes or so, ending right here where for hours this woman sat here in her car. Unfortunately, she does not have any clothes on. She is completely naked, was hanging in and out of her car. At one point, there appeared to be a dog running around in the back seat. Again, SWAT is out here trying to get her out of the car. We saw them and heard them break her window. It is raining, I mean, really hard out here. I'm going to send things back to you in the studio. Tony, our photographer, so kind, went and grabbed an umbrella for me. But I'll send things back to you all in the studio. It's a little quiet now. A little moment ago, you could hear officers speaking to her back and forth over the loudspeaker. But that's where we are right now. You know, more than 3 hours into this.
Right.
Back to you.
Making some progress, breaking that window of her vehicle, talking to her. That's always a good sign if they're communicating back and forth. All right, Brooke, thank you so much for that update. We'll check back in with you. Onto this. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. President Trump announced that he will bestow his former legal advisor the nation's highest civilian honor. The announcement comes just days after Giuliani was involved in a car accident in New Hampshire. Giuliani served as mayor of New York City during 9/11, and he has faced several legal and financial woes since the 2020 election, where he represented Trump in lawsuits attempting to overthrow the 2020 election results. Giuliani is now barred from practicing law in both New York and Washington, D.C. for spreading misinformation. Overseas travelers visiting the United States will soon
ready to.
It's Amber Heard. No, it's not Amber Heard. At least I don't think so.
I think they're going to ask us to get higher.
the Renaissance banquet and stole a box full of money meant for the bride and groom. A friend and relative to the couple says thousands of dollars were in that box. He reportedly ran down a back hallway leading to an alleyway there where a getaway car was waiting. Glendale police say they are actively looking for this suspect. So if you can help them, please contact Glendale PD.
This morning, LA County leaders are pushing for expanded rent relief. Supervisor Lindsay Horvath and
I don't know what they're waiting for now. I guess they're scared because apparently she's got herself buried in the back somewhere, because we haven't seen her for a while. Well, obviously she's still in there, but like I said, we haven't seen her for a while. Earlier she was hanging out the window, giving them a show, I guess. I don't know. And I think she's in the very, very back, because the back seat windows aren't tinted as dark, or that one's blown out. It looks like in the very back they're tinted. You can't see her. So I suppose they don't know what to do. Maybe she's got another hammer or something in there they're worried about. But it looks like they're fixing to bring it to an end one way or another. I mean, oh my goodness. How many police officers? 3 tactical unit trucks there. Lady, clothesless. If you would, and you're not already, make sure you subscribe, like, maybe share real quick before it comes to a complete end. Ring that bell for notifications. We've got a little story coming up on Princess Diana's time capsule. Pretty cool. You won't want to miss that. Of course, we've got our series on Brushy Mountain, Penitentiary. Got another chapter or 2 getting ready to come out. And we're working on This Day in History next segment. Got a little story coming up on Princess really don't know what they're waiting for now. I mean, throw some tear gas in there maybe. I don't know. We got like 30 men scared of one little nude girl.
We're gonna build up this channel again just for hanging out. What do you guys?
Oh, there's the tear gas. Getting ready. Well, that will get her moving, I'd say. Oh, here it comes. Whoa, here it comes. There it goes. Oh, oh, sticking her hand out the other window. Oh, here she comes. No, oh. Nope, back away, Kim. Oh, my goodness. She's giving up finally. She didn't want that tear gas. I wonder what she's saying. Well, I guess that's it. It only took them about 2 hours. Well, all right, folks. I think that's going to do it. Appreciate y'all. We will catch you next time.